teams, and you need more objectivity. The one that was weird was the opening one that Kyle Shanahan did not challenge because
Yeah.
the people in the booth in New York City have all the angles and they didn't throw any of them. They didn't look
Mm-hmm.
at any of those angles. And then all of a sudden, the Eagles are running another play and nobody had any time. I got to blame Shanahan for that because there were two indications. There was the Hafanga motioning that it was incomplete and the Philly receiver running to the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage.
He
On
was.
those two hints, I think you got to throw the challenge flag. I did the live stream with Grant a lot. He's taking a very strong, let's blame Shanahan approach. I don't blame Shanahan for having Croft on Reddick because it's the play action game. You're selling that you're doing something else. So you have to be able to use these guys. They have to be,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like Croft blew that block. He didn't blow it inside. He held him and then he got let go and he went wide on him. It's just Purdy's got to get rid of it. The
Faster.
timing wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, if I had anybody to blame on that, I would blame Lynch in the personnel department for not having a better, more powerful, more stout second tight end. To me, that's a more apt criticism than to blame Shanahan for doing in this game what he did all season, which was play action pass and use guys like Croft, like Dwelly, as pass protectors at times. How much blame did you throw towards Shanahan?
Um, not too much. I'm not too upset with the non-challenge. I thought everything just happened so quick and so bang bang. And even the first time the replay showed me, I still thought it was a catch. And when you rush to the line like that, you have 15, 16, 20 seconds max to make a decision if you're going to throw the flag or not. I could see why Kyle Shanahan was reluctant. At the end of the day, he should have challenged it, and it could have really saved the game. If you're telling me the Eagles don't score, the 49ers have the ball at the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line? Their own
35,
40, yeah, own 35. Like, that could have been a monumental difference in the game, right? But in real time, I really didn't blame him. But,
I don't feel like we got the good view until after the score.
So that's what I was thinking. Like, another thing, as I've been in these opposing stadiums, they're not going to show enough replays when it's questionable, right? Like, they might show one because it was a spectacular catch, and then by the time the booth has a look at it and they have to relay the message down to Kyle Shanahan, the turnaround time was just too tight. So I really wasn't too hard on Shanahan for not challenging in the moment.
We welcome in Ryan Smith, who joins the mix. Ryan Smith, Nick Newman, Ryan Smith.
What's going on, Ryan?
We're talking obviously about Purdy, and Ryan basically, is a passionate Niner fan and does these videos. And Ryan, you've probably seen a few of them, and some of them are really, really good. And so we were just talking a little bit about him and also how he blamed he blamed Purdy in real time for not being tough, not coming back in, and knows he made a mistake and this and that. So we get kind of fooling around with that. And then I was just asking him now about Shanahan. I'll throw it to you, right? How much blame do you throw on Shanahan? I mean, obviously you lose. There's a lot of unhappiness. There's a lot of discontent today. People are looking for a scapegoat. They're looking for somebody to blame. What do you think? I mean, where do you want to jump in on this? Obviously, we all saw it. I mean, the 49ers lost because they lost Brock Purdy, and then they kind of lost their composure towards the end. They had too many penalties, so on and so forth, 3 turnovers. Any one of those things, losing Purdy, being -3 in turnovers, or, having double-digit penalties is enough typically to get you beat, especially on the road against a good team. But they had it all, right? All 3 of those factors went against them. I don't blame Kyle Shanahan for that. They had gone 12 games with 1 turnover or fewer. So, and I don't blame Kyle Shanahan for the loss. I think it has, to me, it was decided 6 plays into their first drive. So I wasn't going to come out super strong anti-Kyle. I also think if they fired Kyle tonight, there'd be 3 more guys in the NFL whose head coaches would be fired tomorrow because those teams would be hoping to get Kyle. So I just think, I know there's discontent. I know there's a lot of people that want to blame Kyle for this and that. I get it. I understand, but I don't To me, that's not why they lost. Rye, go ahead. What do you where do you sit on the Shanahan, you know, day after postmortem frustration?
I guess I would just say I'm really bummed. There was like, 6 or 7 things that happened that caused it to like not be a game. I'm really bummed that they couldn't at least just go into halftime down 7. And that would have given everyone hope. And also, I feel like maybe that gives Kyle enough time to sort of scheme together something with Josh Johnson. But I don't know. I mean, as far as blaming
The
Shanahan,
chat's saying that your mic might be a little loud.
oh,
I don't know. I'm not sure
there you go. How about that?
I'm not sure.
As far as blaming Shanahan, I mean that like he should have challenged that. Like, there's no doubt. He should have at least taken a timeout because I'm pretty sure if you take a timeout, you can then decide, 20 seconds later, you'd rather convert that to a challenge. And it's the beginning of the game. But I also understand that, it's kind of tough when it's that early in the game to want to you're worried you're going to burn a challenge or, burn a timeout. But man, it was just such a backbreaking play because it was 4th and whatever. And it just immediately the Niners would have been in field goal range. And of course, then everyone can play the butterfly effect game. Probably Brock doesn't get hurt, but no, I really can't blame. I really don't. If I give like, maybe 3 out of 10 blame to Shanahan. I really can't give any blame to anybody else. Even I know people ripping on like Greenlaw for like it's just, what are you going to do, man? Like, you're that frustrated. You're playing a zillion minutes of defense in the row and you're just trying to make a play. You're trying to force some sort of turnover. That was like their only shot. But and then as far as Josh Johnson, I don't even really blame him because he probably didn't get any reps in practice. They had to give all the reps to Purdy because he's a rookie. And the guy just looked like he wasn't ready to be out there to play football. It just sucks because it's just was such a good season and there was so much effort put into it. And I honestly, I just got so triggered by everyone being like, oh, well, Philly proved they're the better team. Blah, blah, blah. Like, a lot of people just kind of glossed over the game, went right to Kansas City Bengals. But
I'll say this. I don't think that Philly proved that they were the better team. In fact, my feeling after watching that game, and now granted, I know there's play calling when you're up, play calling when you're down, play calling when you're trying to score a lot, play calling when you're trying to just burn clock. So I understand Philly would have had a different plan than for the Niners if Purdy had not gotten hurt than the plan that they actually showed us. That all being said, if Purdy plays, very confident the 49ers would have found a way to win that game. Very confident.
It would have gone to the 4th quarter. It would have been a nail biter. It would have been awesome. That, I guess, you hit the nail on the head there, Lair. The thing that's really disappointing, having watched both games, is like it doesn't feel like any team played their A game, and yet 2 teams are in the Super Bowl. The Niners obviously couldn't have played their A game.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles, I mean, Eagles ran like 70 plays, had like 260 yards total or something. They really weren't all that special. And of course, their D line is going to be awesome, but that's just because they literally could only run the ball. So I think Debo had, it was like negative 10 yards rushing on the day or something.